founder and CEO of ShareLove.Fund. And today we are doing week 11 of our RPYT yoga teacher training for prenatal yoga certification. And each week we go over a pose, and the pose we're going to talk about this week is triangle pose. So I'm going to briefly demonstrate that, and then we will do our warm-up. Then we'll do our sun salutation sequence, weaving in all the poses that we have learned to date. And I believe that brings us to 18 poses we've learned to date. So triangle, we are going to have both legs straight. Our back leg is going to be a 45-degree angle, and our front foot is going to be pointed forward. With our legs straight, we are going to be careful with prenatal. We never want to twist. That's a no-no. Hips are always going to be in line with the belly. We're not going to torque the torso. So keeping that in mind, that we want the torso to stay on a level plane. We'll relax our arm going down, bring an arm going up, and gently look at the fingertips, relaxing the shoulder. The hand will be parallel. So just like in Warrior 2, how we're squared to the front, our hand also stays squared. It's not like this, it's like this. And so this is triangle. So triangle, and then we'll do it on the other side because symmetry is really important. Triangle. So that is the pose we're going to integrate into our sun salutation today. Let's take a comfortable seated position. So this is Trikonasana, easy seat. We introduced it in week 3. And this is a really grounding way to start a class. So let's just take a few minutes here to ground ourselves. Let's take a few breaths to honor us being here today, taking this journey together. Today we can focus on breathing in through the nose and out the nose, if that's comfortable to you. If it's not, definitely just breathe in which way. It's really important to have breath. While we're here, let's try to really stretch our neck. When you're pregnant, there's a lot of things we can't twist and do, but we can definitely turn and twist our necks. We're not pregnant in our neck, and this is really an advantage. So there's just so much tension going on. And to enhance the neck massage, you might want to give a little self-massage. Prenatal clients, there's a lot of blood in their body. Circulation can be more difficult. And self-massage can be a really great tool that you can introduce to your clients. Everybody knows they can do it, but sometimes we don't think about it. And it's also empowering to remind people, hey, you don't have to wait for a foot massage. You can do it yourself, or a neck massage. So let's use our breath to really sort of meditate into this and really try to elongate the neck. Dropping our shoulders to increase this stretch. You can use a hand here to add some pressure. Sharp shooting pain is never good, so definitely listen to your own body. You can, at your own pace, we'll sort of rotate our head to one side and then rotate it to the other. Stretching takes time, so this first part of the class is going to be a little boring. If that does not float your boat, you can fast forward, but Some of our students expressed that they really wanted to increase flexibility. So that's what we're gonna do. If you want something else, please comment in our Teachable. We love hearing from our RPYT students. We aim to please. So let us know what you're seeking. But for those of you that really wanted to increase flexibility, it's just going to take time. And so we're putting in the time, and we're going to spend some minutes here stretching our neck. While you're doing this, you can think about stacking your spine up and maybe a little forward and back, so that while you're stretching your neck, you are seated in line so that you're not adding stress to other parts of your body. If you're pregnant and more comfortable in a position like this or forward straddle, go for it. And if not, we'll just do the standard easy seat, keeping this, whatever arm you're not stretching, keeping it loose to really elongate that stretch. Connecting your breath with the tight parts and the exhale for release. Doing a half circle with the neck at a pace that really maximizes the neck stretch for you. Noticing the connection between the neck and the shoulder and the back. You'll feel tension and tightness in the place that's tightest. So that's kind of obvious, but depending on where you feel it is where you're tight. So you'll work on that first. So each of us will feel it in a little different way, because each of our points of resistance are different. And then as we work through that tightness, we'll feel it in the next place. So for some people, they may even feel this in the back, because maybe their neck is really loose and they're stretching something even deeper. Can sit up straight and see how that feels. Kind of comparing how the stretch feels depending on your posture. So bringing it to the side, shaking out this arm and really breathing into it. As I said, it takes time for the body to let go of all this tension. To avoid pulling a neck muscle, you just want to go really slow. No sudden movements. And these are things that can help when we get to shoulder stand later, having flexibility in our neck and back and shoulders. It all works together. You can also notice tension in the jaw. You might want to do a self-massage of the jaw. There, if you're a teeth clencher, if you clench your teeth, you may have a lot of tension in your neck. And you know, sometimes in life we meet these people where nothing phases them. And a big part of sort of around by daily situations, a big part of being grounded is actually having flexibility and decreasing stress and approaching things with ease. And you can sort of psychologically get yourself to do that, or you can physically just stretch. And when your body is limber and flexible, sometimes you can approach situations with a little more flexibility too. So there is an intangible mind-body connection. It's not magic, but these are just subtle ways yoga can help. We'll take a deep breath in our nose, out our nose if that serves you. Making observations is one side tighter than the other. Feeling the stretch down the back, keeping the spine straight. Noticing any progress. Does it feel like your neck is more limber or not? Definitely sharpshooting pain is never a good thing. And these results of increased flexibility, they take time. You can't just stretch to the point you want to be stretched in a day. That would be dangerous. That would be pulling muscle. So just sort of gentle encouragement, let go, and then the accumulation of that gentle encouragement, that's where we see the results. It all adds up like grains of sand. And I love neck stretches for prenatal clients because there's so much of the body that can't be moved. And also, so many prenatal clients are so tired and they're working and they have so much to do. So just being able to let them know that they can have a little mini yoga practice just by stretching their neck. That's something they can do at the office. If you want to gently put some hands behind your head. And this is almost like a rabbit pose or stretch. But this is what we would need for shoulder stand, which we're not going to do pregnant. They say inversions are fine. Just in general, when you're pregnant, you should just only do what you've already been doing. So if you already have a certain practice that maybe does handstands, then fine. But if you don't, then you shouldn't. The thing with shoulder stands though is people should really, I think it just really goes to the general rule that anything you're not familiar with doing, you shouldn't do any activity more strenuous while you're pregnant unless that is sort of your ordinary course of activity before you're pregnant. So we'll take a breath, we'll put it to one side and then the other. So through a couple breaths, we'll just do one more rotation of this and we'll work on it a little bit each week. Exhale, and then we'll go to the other side. From here, we can shake out the legs a little bit. When you're pregnant, your legs might be prone to falling asleep. And let's get into double pigeon and sort of increase that stretch while we loosen up our hips a little bit. So double pigeon, we stack our legs like this, and it's a hip opener, and there's a lot going on in pregnancy with the hips. And so by sitting in double pigeon, we're getting a few benefits. We'll stretch the rib cage a little bit side to side to warm up. And then when we're doing that, we'll also really just try to peel open the hips. So to get comfortable in double pigeon, let's lean back a little bit. Let's lean forward. And then I like to do the hula, as you know. So aloha and mahalo for joining us. In pregnancy, we won't do any twists, like torques, we won't do that, but we can, as long as we're keeping this torso unit together and straightforward, we can move all together. So we'll do a circle up and a circle back. And really just try to fall into this easy seat. Inhale, arms up, dropping the shoulders, having gratitude for taking the time to practice today. And exhale, arms down. Inhale, shoulder down and reach across. And here we're making space in the rib cage, but every action has a reaction kind of thing. And so when we stretch one part of our body, we're also contracting another. So if it feels too much of a pinch while you're pregnant, then modify. But basically, there's a lot going on in the ribs, and sometimes it feels good to make a little space. By moving the upper body while stretching the lower body, we're actually getting a full body workout just by sitting here. So this is something you can also do while you're watching TV on your own, or if you have other kids, while you're on the floor playing with them. You can kind of just sit like this and let gravity do some of the work. So here we'll hold this a little bit. While we're holding this, we're leaning our arm to one side. We're also grounding our bottom hip. Being in double pigeon with our foot on our leg, that helps us get a deeper side stretch. Now let's just take 3 breaths here. And we'll go on the other side and we'll take 3 breaths there. Kind of reach, and then we'll come down. Let's shake it out a little bit. And now let's do double pigeon on the other side. So we'll stack our legs, and you can kind of observe the difference of how the sides feel. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, let it all hang out. Here we'll walk our hands forward, and if you have a little bit of a belly, you don't need to come too far. Trying to reduce stress in the shoulder, and just hanging out, letting those hips fall. Asking yourself, what am I holding on to? Maybe putting some pressure on the leg. And remembering to breathe. You can bring your hands up to sort of the third eye or the temple and do a little massage. We're not going to get like too crazy into the yoga philosophies. We're in this class, but some of the things, you know, whether you believe it's your third eye or not, you know, these are just things that can relieve tension and feel good. And whether you're pregnant or you're serving pregnant clients, it's such a time of discomfort in so many ways. So why not feel good in some ways? So here we'll walk our fingers forward, and then without twisting, keeping our whole body together, we'll walk our hands to the side. And so this is, and I'm just gonna look forward and not at the camera to really like drill in the point that it's not a torque. It's just a stretch here. Because basically I'm trying to get across the point of, you know, the head, the belly button, and the hips are all in line. And we'll stretch on this side, letting our knee drop a little further to the ground. Feeling the rib stretch. Inhale, honoring your practice. Exhale, release, walking the hands forward and doing a little stretch on the other side. Windmill, arms up again and across. Putting our hands on our hips, reminding ourselves that we're centered, adding a little weight on the leg, and then shaking it out. So, to continue our warm-up, we'll go into tabletop, and from tabletop, we'll review cat-cow, which we did in week 4. So cat-cow, we can start in tabletop. You can curl your toes under or let them be flat. Curling under can help with stability. And we're going to draw the belly button to the mat and then draw the tip of the spine to the ceiling. So let's breathe together and we'll just do some cat-cows. When you feel warmed up in cat-cow, you can kind of switch it up and lean to one side or another. So spinal flexibility and working the spine feels really great for a lot of prenatal clients. So we're just going to spend some time here. We're here for an hour and a half, and this is our time to smell the roses and really work on these little subtleties. You can kind of shift forward and back, from side to side, maybe going in a circle. Thinking about how to connect breath with movement to get deeper into the stretch. Can kind of come dip back a little bit. We talked about downward puppy, as sort of an unofficial ShareLove.Fund pose. Stretching the arms, keeping the tailbone up. So downward puppy, this is a way to sort of complement what we're doing in cat-cow. It's a way to sort of give your wrists a little relief. If you feel like you're not fully warmed up on your spine, but your wrists need a break, we can go to downward puppy. We also can go to child's pose, which we're going to do now. So knees hip width, knees towards the edge of the mat to create space for the belly. You can use a block or bolster to rest your forehead if you are further along in your pregnancy. And for everyone else, let's do child's pose, and you can put your left cheek on the mat, and we'll just kind of continue this next stretch that we're doing. Thinking about grounding your tailbone down. And we'll just take some breaths here. Just letting it all get released. Coming up to cat-cow, and we'll just really lean into one side, not doing a torque, but just really leaning in to stretch that hip, stretch that back, leaning in on the other side, doing one rotation and another rotation. Cow, cat. Leaning a little back to really stretch that back. A little forward, and cow. A little back, and cat. Moving it around and around again. Here we'll do downward puppy again, stretching under the arms. And then we'll come down to child's pose, resting opposite cheek. This is a restorative pose. And it's also a pose you can come back to at any point in the class if something's not working for you. You can think about your tailbone having connection with your feet. And we talked about in another, and you can sort of do a self-adjustment. We talked about in another class connection between when the parts of your body are actually physically touching each other, like your quads, on, you know, basically the difference between this and this when we're actually connecting our body parts, how that sort of helps with body awareness and feeling solidified. So from here, we'll come back up to tabletop, and then we'll come up to start our class. So that was our warm-up. Please forgive me, I'm just gonna wipe down my mat a little bit because it's a little slippery. And it is really important with prenatal clients to, and I'm gonna lose the leg warmers because the warm-up's over. Now we get to work. But basically, prenatal clients, the most important thing, and with any client, is avoiding injury. So how do we avoid injury? You know, no socks to reduce slippage. And if you're teaching in person and the mat is maybe a little slippery, you know, do something about it. So, because you don't want anyone to slip. If somebody seems wobbly, then there's a lot of things we can do on our knees and stuff like this. Okay, so coming to a standing position, what we're going to do is we're going to review the sun salutation, and then we're going to add in the poses that we've learned each week, and then we will finally add in our pose of the day, which is triangle. I said the hand like this, but actually the hand is like this, so I don't know what I was saying. And then we'll do triangle. Okay, so I'll add in that pose. That's our pose of the day. So my mat is still kind of slippery, but it's live on YouTube, so what can I do? It's real life. So in real life, sometimes we have slippery mats. So maybe somebody slimed me, I don't know. Maybe my kids pranked me. Okay, let's go, and we start in Tadasana. Okay, so Tadasana, sometimes if you have like a background in dancing or something like this, you might be prone to pointing your toes out. We're gonna have our toes face forward. We're gonna talk a lot about Tadasana. It may seem basic, but there's incredible benefits, and that's what we do here at ShareLove.Fund. We drill down fundamentals. Okay, in Tadasana, we're gonna squeeze our backside and kind of roll out the legs. We're gonna imagine our toes as monkey feet, just like gripping on, grabbing to the bottom of the mat. Stacking our spine. Our spine has a natural curvature, in and then out. And really kind of, you know, maybe doing that hula again to really find that center of balance. And really playing around with the comfort level of the spine. One thing I like to do is have my palms out, just to sort of roll the shoulders back, and I put my hands back naturally, and that kind of helps make sure, you know, we're not hunched. And we stand in Tadasana. So this is a power pose, and this is something you can do at the grocery store. If you don't have time, but you want to work out, stand in line and squeeze your glutes. Oh, I also want to say thank you to Super Dry. It was super nice to have these pants, and I'm not like promoting it or anything, I'm just enjoying it. Okay, so everything you have is already inside of you, so be wary of people trying to sell things. That's always what I'm trying to say. And we're really, really genuinely here to help folks. We're a 501c3 charitable organization. We started during COVID when we saw an incredible need that people did not want a hand out, people wanted a hand up. People didn't want money, they wanted a job. So how could we provide jobs for people when fitness studios were closed and locked down? We had the idea that we could certify anyone to be a yoga teacher, and that those yoga teachers could work one-on-one with clients or otherwise on Zoom, and you know, or in person, or whatever was legally appropriate at the time. And then we had an even better idea that we should certify pregnant high school girls who have an accredited yoga teaching degree, so that when they graduate from high school, they can have a livelihood that it respects their mind, body, and soul. Then we had a better idea that as incarceration rates rose during COVID, that and then of course then they were released too because of COVID, but it was a really difficult time for a lot of people. And so in the spirit of reducing recidivism, we provide yoga teacher training to incarcerated women, so that should they be released, they also have a vocation that respects their mind, body, and soul. Also, just by being in training with us, it shows the court that they're rehabilitating, also helps them rehabilitate. For people that are serving a life sentence, it gives them a purpose. Maybe they won't leave that facility, but their students will. And as a teacher, I'm a teacher, I enjoy vicariously the successes of my students, and that's something to live for. So we're keeping it positive at ShareLove.Fund. We could not do any of this outreach work without our yoga teacher trainees in the public that have signed up through Teachable. And when you buy a degree for you, you're also providing one for someone in need. So we're just so grateful. So give us comments through Teachable. Let us know how we can serve you best, because so we are able to help so many people because of public clients like you, and we just want to, we have so much gratitude. We just want to make it awesome for you. So, you know, have us meet your needs, and communication is key. So Trikonasana, because we're doing good things in the world. Okay, we're going to take a deep breath, an upper salute, full of gratitude. Exhale, forward fold. And forward fold, we're going to stay here a little bit and just kind of like pedal out the feet. Lean on one side. If it feels good to you to kind of pedal them out faster, that's fine. I'm gonna do a little deeper, one side and then the other. If you feel wobbly, you can also get this hamstring stretch through a seated forward fold. Notice the difference leaning forward, back, maybe side to side, how the stretch is different. So stretching takes time, so we're going to be here a while. When you really lean into it, you can feel it in your back, hamstring, hip, glute. You'll feel it in your tightest point, wherever that may be. Let's shift to the other side. You can grab hold of opposite elbows and just kind of ask yourself, what am I holding on to? What would happen if I just let go? And see if you can fall a little deeper into it. Okay, from forward fold, we breathe in, knees bent, and we do half bend. Half bend, we want to keep our head and neck and back straight in alignment. From half bend, we come down to plank. Strong stomach. We skip knees, chest, chin for prenatal. And we go into up dog. From up dog, we do cobra instead of baby cobra. Now for prenatal, you can put a blanket or block or bolster under your knees or under your hips to create more space. You also can use blocks for your hands. So I apologize, I'm gonna go off camera for 1 second to get blocks because I just want to demonstrate this. Okay, I'm back. So, up dog, this with blocks, it creates even more space. I don't know if it's possible to see the blocks on the camera, but basically, it creates here. I'm going to assume that you can see. I'm going to stay straight. Okay, so for up dog, it creates even more space. For cobra, using the blocks also creates more space. So this class is sort of showing how we can use some blocks. So that can be an added theme for this class. Okay, so from cobra, we're going to push into downward dog. We don't need the blocks. It can go to the side. Okay, what if you don't have blocks? You can use books, or you don't have to do cobra if it interferes with your belly, or like I said, you can use a bolster under your legs. So our method is we try to not create a dependence or anxiety like, oh, I need this prop. We try to drill the point that everything you need is already inside of you, but it is a yoga teacher training, so you do need to know how to use props just to feel confident in the certification. So we'll introduce kind of like one prop at a time. In an earlier class, we talked about the yoga belt, and so in this class, we'll take a look at props. Okay, so from Cobra, we push up to down dog. From down dog, we walk our feet up, and we are doing forward fold. To keep the theme of, I suggest in forward fold holding your shoulders. If you feel unstable, sometimes balance is off with the center of gravity with prenatal clients, they can use blocks to sort of have something to hold on to. So the cool thing about blocks is you can, adjust at different levels. I would not have multiple blocks. I don't think that that's really safe. So we can so there's sort of 3 levels with the block. There's this level, there's this level, there's this level. So you can sort of see what serves your client, and they might feel more supported. So a big part of prenatal classes is helping clients feel nurtured and supported. So we're just gonna hang out here again a little bit in forward fold, leaning a little forward, side to side, just really maximizing the release here. So many pregnant women have lower back pain, and this is a way to release the tension. You can shake your head yes, you can shake your head no, and just really drop into the forward fold. We'll be here a little bit longer just because it's really going to stretch those hamstrings. You might be a little sore tomorrow. Or if it's too long for you, you can continue more fluidly and do the salutations. This is your class. If we give this class to 10 people are going to want it 10 different ways. So it's cost effective to have group classes, but really yoga has so many benefits one-to-one. So be your own one-to-one teacher. Take what serves you from this class and switch up what doesn't. Optimize it for you. Trust yourself. If something's not working for you, doesn't need to be, it can be an opportunity to adjust it so it does work for you. Okay, the blocks can also be helpful in the half forward bend. So here you can bend your knees a little bit, and the idea is a long spine. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down to Tadasana. So that was the sun salutation, just plain, without adding any poses. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the sun salutation on each side, adding warrior 2, which we went over in week 7. So, okay, inhale, arms up, exhale, forward fold. I'm going to use the blocks for this demonstration. So forward fold, inhale, upward salute. Exhale, coming down to plank. Then from plank, I'm going to use the blocks to do up dog, creating more space, and cobra with just a bit more space because we have blocks. Exhale, Gonna sort of do like a tabletop to get rid of the blocks, because I don't think you need them in down dog. And we have down dog. Then bring your right leg in, step it forward, and we have warrior two. From warrior two, we come back, go back into downward dog, walk our feet up, bending, using the blocks, letting it all hang out. Bend your knee, half bend, inhale, upward salute, exhale, Tadasana. Now we do that on the other side, integrating warrior two into our sun salutation on the other side. Inhale, arms up, upward salute, exhale, forward fold. Using some blocks as support here. I'm just gonna keep it straight. They're moving too much, I apologize. Okay, so forward fold. It's live, so that's real life. Bloopers and all. Okay, inhale, bend, slight bend to the knees. And you know what, I'm gonna just try the blocks the whole way around. We'll use the blocks when we come back to plank, and then up dog, cobra, and we're gonna use the blocks this time to do downward dog. So it's interesting, when you do downward dog with blocks, it seems to take some tension off of the wrist. Definitely you don't want slippage. So these are cork blocks, so they have some irregularity, so they're not slippery. The foam blocks might be too slippery to do this, and definitely safety is key. From down dog, one of the advantages also of having the blocks is more weight is shifted to our feet, so we're not falling forward as much. So it makes it a little easier to bring this leg up and over. So we're gonna bring the leg up, kind of go to lunge, and it also helps sometimes when you're pregnant, it's hard to go from so low to high, so using the blocks, it sort of gives you a step up, so you don't have to be quite so far down. From lunge, we're going to go into warrior two on the other side. From warrior two, we'll inhale, come back to lunge, back to downward dog on the blocks, experiencing that difference. If you have them, you can also use books or you can skip it. Blocks are not necessary. I just want everyone who graduates to say, yeah, I know how to use blocks if I needed to. For our incarcerated women's program, we don't teach with blocks because they don't have blocks. So this is sort of like a bonus for the public. Oh wait, from down dog, we walk up, using our blocks as support for forward fold, slight bend in the knees, half bend, inhale, upward salute, exhale, Tadasana. So now we have done the sun salutation and we added in warrior two. So now we're going to do the sun salutation, adding in both warrior two and reverse warrior. So it's like the memory game, we just keep on adding one more thing, and then we will also get to our special triangle pose of the day. Oh wait, inhale, arms up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend, exhale, down to plank, experiencing the difference with blocks. Inhale, up dog, exhale, cobra. Inhale, down dog. Now we bring our right leg in and we step it through the blocks to lunge. Inhale, warrior two, adding reverse warrior. Then we come back to lunge, back to down dog, walking our feet up, Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend, taking it all the way up, feeling gratitude for completing the cycle. Arms down. Now we'll do the reverse warrior on the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold using blocks of support. Inhale, slight bend to the knees with blocks of support. Exhale, come down to plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, cobra. Inhale, down dog. Now we will just take a minute to kind of pedal out the feet in down dog and really get a good stretch. And then really stretch with both. Really seeing where you feel it most. And this extra time adds strength. Okay, so from down dog, we bring our left knee into our chest, step it through the blocks, come to warrior two. From warrior two, breathe, and reverse warrior, eyes gazing to the tops of the fingertips to the ceiling. Come down to lunge. Foot back to down dog. Step it up. Forward fold. Half bend. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. So we completed the sun salutation on both sides, adding in warrior two and adding in reverse warrior. Now we're going to add in our week 9 pose, extended side angle. And we'll do it all. We just keep on adding. So it's a monopoly, getting all the properties. So each week you get a new property. So good for you. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend. Exhale, step back to plank. From plank, up dog. From up dog, exhale to cobra. From cobra, push it back to down dog, and we'll pedal out the feet. Really just trying to get a stretch, using gravity in a different way than we have. Thinking about long spine. Bringing our knee to our chest, stepping it through the blocks to lunge. From lunge, warrior two, to reverse warrior. Adding in extended side angle as a review from before. From extended side angle, oh, this is actually great, we have the blocks. So extended side angle, you can put a block in front of the front foot, and this is really good for prenatal because what we talked about before, sometimes reaching too low can make too much of a pinch. So extended side angle with a block. Right here, I'll just do this so it's so I don't have to move it so much. Okay, extended side angle. From extended side angle, we're gonna come down to lunge. From lunge, we go back to down dog. Walk our feet up, using the blocks as support. Forward fold, half forward fold. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, Tadasana, or mountain pose. So now we will add extended side angle on the other side. Okay, inhale, arms up, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, cobra. From down dog, bring your knee in. Step it through the blocks. Lunge. From lunge, we'll do warrior two. Reverse warrior. Extended side angle, but this time we said we'd do it with the block. It really works better, I think, to have it higher, because that really prevents the pinching, which might be uncomfortable for pregnant people. Okay, extended side angle. From extended side angle, we come back to lunge, back to down dog, walk it up, forward fold, half bend, inhale, arms up, and exhale, Tadasana or mountain pose. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over the next pose, which is lunge. Really in our standard 45 key poses, it's revolved lunge. Revolved lunge is not prenatal safe. You don't want any torques or twists. So whenever there is, let's say, revolved lunge or revolved half moon, you can modify by standard lunge or standard half moon. Half moon, for example, works because all of this is staying in line. We don't want to twist it. We just want to keep it in line. Okay, so, and we've already kind of been doing lunge anyway, but now we're going to do it more cognitively. Okay, inhale, arms up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend, exhale, come down to plank. Inhale, up dog, exhale, cobra. Inhale, down dog. Inhale the knee in, step it through the blocks. So now we are cognitively really doing lunge. So lunge with blocks. If it's hard for someone to come down, the blocks in this way can really help. So lunge with blocks can really help prenatal people, so that makes it a little bit easier to get up because they're not as far down. So from lunge, we go to warrior two. Warrior two, reverse warrior, extended side angle with the block. From extended side angle, we go back to lunge. We do not do revolve lunge. And I'm going to put the blocks down because if we use the blocks like this for down dog, I don't think that that would be safe because it's a little teetery. So we'll put the blocks down, and from lunge, we go back into down dog, walk our feet forward, use the blocks as support for forward fold, bend the knees for half bend, inhale, arms up, exhale, Tadasana. So now let's do that lunge with the blocks on the other side. Integrating everything that we did in past weeks. This sun salutation is a total review of everything we did in past weeks. And then after that, we will do the sun salutation that introduces what we learned this week, which is triangle. But so this sun salutation is the cumulative review of last week and forward. And last week and from the beginning to last week. So this is the cumulative review from the beginning to last week. Okay, awesome. Okay, inhale, arms up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend, exhale, come to plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, cobra, relaxing the neck. Inhale, down dog. Maybe pedal out the feet a little bit. really thinking about the long spine. If you need to bend your knees, that's fine. If you need to bring your heels up, that's fine. The idea is a long spine. The idea is not heels on the ground. If your spine is long, then sure, put the heels on the ground. But the spine long is the prerequisite. Okay, knee into chest, step through to lunge. For prenatal clients, having the block a little higher might help. So it makes it easier for them to get up out of lunge. From lunge, we can go into warrior two. Reverse warrior. Extended side angle using the block. An upright also creates more space here. Careful not to twist or torque. Extended side angle. From extended side angle, we put the blocks down on their side, stability, and we go into like briefly lunge, and then we go into down dog. From down dog, we walk our feet up, forward fold, half bend, inhale, arms up, and exhale, arms down. So that was a cumulative review, and now we get to add in triangle. Inhale, arms up to upward salute, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend, exhale to plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, cobra. Inhale, down dog. Right leg into chest, step through to lunge. Move the blocks higher if that helps you or your prenatal client. From lunge, we do warrior two. Breathing warrior two, go to reverse warrior, and then we're ready for side angle with a block that's higher to help reduce the torque. And extended side angle, eyes to the ceiling. And from extended side angle, we are going to come up and do triangle. So basically, extended side angle is bending the front knee and looking up, and triangle is straightening the leg and looking up. Extended side angle, triangle. Extended side angle, triangle. Extended side angle, triangle. So it's easy to, or it's not necessarily easy, but you can think of triangle as a triangle. So this doesn't really look like a triangle. That looks like a triangle, but it does kind of get confusing. And one of the games I play with our teenage teacher trainees is we sort of have like a shout out, like triangle, pyramid, extended side angle, like, and you know, we have a lot of fun. So, okay, so basically extended side angle and then triangle. Okay, from that triangle, we'll come back down to lunge, and then we'll place our blocks flatter to be safer for down dog, and then walk our feet up to forward fold, half bend with the knees. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, Tadasana. So now we will do that on the other side, adding in triangle. Inhale, arms up for upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend. Exhale to plank. From plank, up dog. Cobra. Exhale, down dog. Bring the left knee in, put it through your hands. To make it easier for prenatal, you can move the blocks upright. Lunge. From lunge, we have warrior two. reverse warrior. Extended side angle using the block. Triangle, straightening the leg. Coming back down to lunge. Moving the blocks flat. 4. Down dog to be a little safer. Stepping our feet up. Forward fold. Half bend. Inhale. Upward salute. Exhale, Tadasana. So now we completed the new pose of the week and everything that you've learned. So now we're going to do that 2 more times because I believe that our system is based on repetition, and when we repeat things 3 times, it usually cements. So we're going to do that 2 more times and 1 on each side. So really it'll be 4 sun salutations, 2 sets. Okay. Inhale. Working with sometimes like highly anxious people, they like to know what's happening. Everyone's busy, so that's why I take a moment to tell you what's going on. So you're empowered. You have the remote, so to speak, so you can take from it what you want now that you know what's coming. Okay, inhale. Arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, cobra. Inhale, down dog. Bring the right knee in. Exhale into lunge. You can bring the blocks a little higher. From lunge, warrior 2. Reverse warrior. Extended side angle with a block. Coming back to lunge. Oh, wait, sorry. Extended side angle with a block, and then I forgot. Our pose of the day, triangle. Sorry. And it's triangles week. It's like forgetting a kid on their birthday, you know? So, okay, triangle. We're giving you lots of love right now. This week is all about you, triangle. Okay, so triangle. Then we come back to lunge. Moving our blocks so it's a little safer. Down dog. Walking our feet up to forward. Half bend. Inhale. Upward salute. And exhale. Mountain pose. So now we do that for the second time on the other side to complete the second set. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend. Exhale, down to plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, cobra. Inhale, down dog. Bringing the knee in through the hands. Adjusting the block so it's a little higher to help pregnant people get up. From lunge, we do warrior 2. Reverse warrior. Extended side angle with the blocks. Our pose of the week, triangle, we're not forgetting you. Come down to lunge. Make the block flat for stability and push in to down dog. Walk the feet up to the top of the mat, forward fold, half bend. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. So now we'll do that for the third set. To cement it in. Inhale, arms up, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend. Exhale, to plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, cobra. Inhale, down dog. Bringing the right leg in. putting our feet through our hands. Using the blocks a little higher creates more space. Another thing we can do to create space is to shimmy the foot out to create more space for the belly. Lunge. From lunge, warrior two. Reverse warrior. Extended side angle with a block. Our pose of the day, triangle. Pose of the week, excuse me. Back to lunge with the blocks upright. Putting the blocks flat for stability. Push back into down dog. Walking up, forward fold. Bend the knees with half bend. Inhale, breathing up to upward salute, and exhale to Tadasana. Now we'll complete the third set by doing the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend. Exhale to plank. From plank, inhale to up dog, rolling the shoulders back, and exhale to cobra. Inhale to push up to down dog. This is going to be our last down dog of the day, so really kind of walk around and wiggle around and maximize your benefits. This is your class. You get out what you put into it, so put into it what you need. Oh wait, from down dog, we are going to lift our left leg in, walk it through to the blocks. Make the blocks a little higher just to practice the feeling of how it helps to get a little higher. For pregnant people, also we can shimmy a leg out, even put a block in to create more space for the belly. So I'm a little afraid of that because I don't want someone to fall on the block with their belly, so maybe keep the blocks on the outside. I think that will be safer. Oh wait, from lunge, lift up through the core, warrior two. Reverse warrior. Extended side angle, using a block. Straightening the leg to triangle, our pose of the week. Thinking about having the hips really parallel to sort of the wall or the mat. So if the mat is aligned and the hips are aligned, would they ever intersect? The idea is no, because we don't want twists in pregnancy. So if that's too much for someone, then maybe they just do this and they don't come down because we don't want to twist. Okay, so triangle, our pose of the week. Then we come down to lunge, making the blocks a little lower to be safer. We step our foot back to down dog, and this is the official last down dog of the class, not the other one. I spoke too soon. Stepping our feet up. We just let it all hang out in forward fold. You can grab opposite elbows. Take a big exhale. Inhale to half bend. Inhale all the way up in gratitude for your work today to upward salute. Exhale to Tadasana, and you did it. You did the work. So now is the treat part of the class where we get to do a little stretch on our backs and feel good. If you are not comfortable on your back, then you can do what we're doing seated up. So we're going to do reclined goddess. You can also just do cobbler's pose if you're more comfortable. Since we have the blocks today, I'm going to show you how you can do reclined goddess with blocks. So sometimes people feel more supported having blocks under their knees or like this. Also, you can use a bolster to put under for Recline Goddess. So for some prenatal clients, this is just going to be it for them. Like, they don't want to go on their back, and don't mess with that. People know their bodies the best. We are yoga teachers. We're not medical doctors. Even if you are a medical doctor, in the context of teaching a yoga class in a group, that's not really, I mean, if someone's a doctor, they know this already, but that's not really the context to give medical advice anyway. So I'm training people to be yoga teachers, and sort of asking them to wear the hat of just one hat, just a yoga teacher when they're doing that job. And but anyway, I trust your own good judgment, and or I hope to. And here we can do a little self-massage of the feet and increase circulation. And for people that are comfortable laying on their back, they can lay on their back in reclined goddess pose. The arms can be up, sort of emulating how the feet are. And to the extent this is comfortable, we can just stay here. Another option is to kind of elevate. You can use a block or a bolster to kind of elevate, and then if you do that, then you can support the knees a little more. So this would be an inversion. This would be like a supported bridge pose. So we're not going to go over that because bridge is not the pose of this week, but that's just something to keep in mind, that that's a way to have a gentle inversion. So anyway, we're going to hang out a little bit in goddess pose. If you don't need the blocks, if you're comfortable with the stretch, you're definitely, the idea is to open up the hips. It's just sometimes people aren't comfortable to do that, so they want the blocks. A blanket is another way to help people feel comfortable. Sometimes people want to be covered when they're in a situation like this. Sometimes people don't want to be covered. Definitely don't touch people that don't want to be touched. Don't cover people that don't want to be covered. You know, compassion is key. And if you're not sure, then less is more is always a good rule, or generally a good rule. I'll stay away from absolutes, but let's just take a few breaths here, feeling our lower spine drop to the mat, peeling out our knees, knowing that if you're uncomfortable on your back, you can always go to your side or sit up as demonstrated. Knowing that you need to listen to your body, that nothing herein shall be construed as medical advice, and that our body kind of gives us clues sometimes. If something hurts, you know, what if we paid attention to small injuries before they became big injuries? Maybe some of the things that we're facing actually started out as a whisper. And what if we listened to that whisper? Would we have torn something or things like that? So sometimes there are sudden accidents, but sometimes we have like a knee that's kind of bothering us and we just ignore it. And sometimes little things become big things. So this is an opportunity to just breathe and really get in touch. Are there any little whispers of injury or discomfort in your body? And is that something you want to or need to address? We'll just take a few minutes here, really connecting your breath to your body. letting your knees fall to the sides. Thinking of your breath as a circle or a figure eight with no start or end, just continuously moving and nourishing through your body. Trying to concentrate your breath on your toes. And every little nook and cranny up to your nose at your own pace. You can put some weight on your thighs if you want with your hands to encourage them to fall out a little bit. You can kind of wiggle your toes against each other and just explore that connectivity. The relationship of your body parts kind of saying hi to each other. This foot says hi to that foot. How are you doing? And this can kind of increase our body awareness and just sort of help us like harness our whole self, the energy of our whole self. I encourage you to put your hands behind your head, tuck your chin in, and then just really lean your neck back. And the idea here is that we're trying to really lengthen our neck and get to a point where maybe one day our whole spine, from our tailbone to the tip of our skull, just all of it is just touching the mat. So I don't even know if that's healthy. I'm not a doctor, but basically yoga, it's about idealistic ideas when we stretch. Like we'll say, reach your hand to the ceiling and your other hand to the ground. Obviously, we're not Gumby, so we're not going to be able to reach our hand to the ceiling. So if I say something like, bring your chin into your chest and connect the back of your neck with the mat, I mean, if your neck and skull is not shaped that way, then it's not going to connect. But the point is not to connect. Like there's no prize for connecting. The point is to feel good and to lengthen the back of the neck and stretch. And so sometimes we say the ideals to explain that we're trying to stretch to the fullest. It's not really about reaching the goal. It's more about the stretch. So one of the things that I explain to clients who say, oh, make me a pretzel, I let them know that by stretching, we're releasing tension and stress. If you can do the splits, let's say, easily, then doing the splits is not a stretch because you're not, well, maybe technically it is, but it's not releasing for that person. If it's easy, then that person needs to do a little more to actually feel a stretch and feel a release. So there's no, like the real benefit is in the release. So there's no end point. So as far as you can stretch, you're going to have to stretch a little bit more to get a release. So, I mean, and then that's like, I guess where you could get into contortionism. So, so that's just something in life we need to kind of accept is, there's so much emphasis on this end goal, like get the degree, get the job, get the kid, but really it's a process. So the process of stretching, the real benefit is the release. And You're gonna always need to do a little more than you did before to get a release, even after you're a pretzel. So I don't know if that makes sense. Please feel free to comment or question or disagree. I really advocate critical thinking. We are not all robots, we are people, and through communication, we can learn from each other. So with this, we'll get out of this safely by planting our feet on the mat, shimmying our feet to the edge of the mat, doing a little windshield wiper one way, a little windshield wiper the other way, and another time. And when we do this, let's put our hand on our leg, and when we windshield wiper this way, we'll lean to the side, not a twist, but lean to the side, because that was a long time to be on the back for a pregnant person. And then with an inhale, we'll grab the other leg and we'll lean to this side. And the reason why I like to grab legs when we do this is because it helps us make sure that we're not twisting. So we'll do this, lean to this side. We'll stay here for a breath. We'll lean to the other side. This, believe it or not, works the core. We can move the block. Stay here for a couple breaths. Honoring your practice. Get a little burst of energy. Leaning to this second side one more time. With a few breaths, honoring your practice. Giving your back a little self-massage to help with the blood flow, because it was on their back for a little bit. Doing a little happy baby, rocking side to side. Massaging the spine. Thinking about having the tailbone long, the back of the neck long. Rocking. It's a way to do self-massage. You can also use the abs a little bit, rock back and forth. And we do one more rock. And then we'll have a moment of stillness and happy baby to really just stretch the hamstrings, stretch the hips. This is something you can do in bed if you can't fall asleep. You can just do happy baby. One thing that's kind of fun about doing poses in bed is that the mattress gives a lot of give, so it feels like it's a lot more flexible than it is, because you'll be like, wow, my legs are touching, the side of the bed. But sometimes when we can't sleep, these poses can be a great release. Also, sometimes in the morning when the snooze button goes off and we're too tired to get up, but we know we have to, doing happy baby in the morning can kind of be something you can do half asleep. And it can be just enough of a stretch that it kind of like says like hello to your body, and kind of, it can be comfortable enough you can be half asleep, but enough of a stretch that it kind of wakes you up, like the natural. Like with that, we'll exhale, and if you need to use your abs to roll up, you can, or you can connect yourself to your side and gently take your time, take a few breaths to come up. Some people get lightheaded, so definitely don't get up too soon. And so that was a little more sudden than I recommend to get up in a yoga class. So I would say that was kind of a mistake. So when you're teaching, just give them a few breaths down. And then tell them to start wiggling their feet and their hands and and then have the clients get up at their own pace. So it'll be a little more appropriate. But there's no editing on live on YouTube, so it is what it is. Thank you so much, everyone who's joined this class and been a part of this journey. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, please let us know on Teachable, and may you have a blessed day. May the light in me be the light in you. Namaste.